Hey everybody, welcome back to Durbin's Bourbon. I'm Joe.
And I'm Josh.
Today we're going to be doing a review of Glenlivet 15 Year. It's a good whiskey. It's one of my favorites in the Glenlivet line.
Mine as well.
Yeah, it is. It's consistent, has a good fruit flavor. It also has, because it's aged for
15?
Yes, 15 years.
Oh,
so it does, a Scotch as opposed to bourbons have a tendency to age longer without as much barrel char in them because Scotch uses once used bourbon casks. So you don't have that high char that's going to be imparting all those flavors into it. So they can age longer and not be as leathery and oaky as typical bourbons.
Is this one aged in like
French
sherry
oak
cask or anything?
I
or
think
is this
French oak.
It says French oak.
Yep.
But
So it is finished, so they'll age it for a certain amount of years in the once used bourbon cask, and then they finish it in a French oak stave, so you're going to get some of those French oak flavors as far as your fruits, grape-wise and stuff like that. So it is one of my favorite Glenlivets out there. This is like the third bottle I've had. It's very consistent. Every bottle I've had has been the same consistency for flavor, for like your apples, your green apple, a little bit of char, not much, but that high fruit content and that sweet grape kind of influence in the whiskey. It's very consistent. It's a great one. It's a great one.
it's my favorite Glenlivet, hands down, because we've tried them all. Well, the ones you have, and it's good.
Yep.
I haven't bought a bottle.
This bottle is from 2015. October was when it was poured, October 2015. So it's a little old, but I use
Poured or
gases.
bottle?
Bottled.
Oh, okay.
So it was bottled in 2015.
Copy that.
So let's give it a nose.
Yeah. Maybe it'll whistle.
Probably.
Oh yeah. Super
High
green
fruit,
apple.
Yeah. High green apple influence. Sweet, light fruit.
It's funny because we just had a bourbon. God, it's so different.
It is. And
Such a different.
that's one of the unique things. Like, you would think whiskey is whiskey is whiskey, and it's really not. We're completely on the other side of the globe. You've got Scotch, and we just did a Kentucky bourbon, and the flavors couldn't be farther from each other. It is whiskey, but one is a Scotch and one is a bourbon. So high apple fruit. It's really light and crisp.
Yes.
Crisp is a great,
Like a green apple.
yes, crisp and green apple is a great descriptor for this particular whiskey.
I'm trying to get other stuff, but besides green apple, but that's all I'm.
It is so strong, like that Jolly Rancher green apple sweetness is the dominant thing I get on the nose.
Yep.
A little bit of alcohol. This is 80 proof. Your Scotches tend to run 80 proof. That's pretty consistent. I think it might just be part of their characteristic is 80 proof.
That's hard to say.
It was harder than I anticipated. But that's okay.
I'm trying
Some
to
of the
taste-
whiskeys I would like.
I do get a little the oakiness,
Yeah.
you know, like with the green apple. But man, that green apple is strong. You're right. It's like a Jolly Rancher in water.
I have a little bit of orange, clove. There's a
Clove,
little
yeah,
bit of
that's
clove.
what that's. Yeah,
That little bit of clove spice in it.
kind of like allspice or.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I would say
that's
green
that's
apple and
what-
clove, and then a little bit of alcohol, not much. It's very sweet. How is it? Good color. It's a light color.
I wonder if they add any color to it.
And that was perfect. I was heading that direction. I haven't determined from reading if Glenlivet adds color. The caramel color that they add, it's inert. It doesn't add flavor or anything, but it does add depth of color. I don't know if Glenlivet does or not. That would be for you to.
I think we read somewhere that they do.
Yeah.
I could be wrong though.
If they do, whatever, it's what they do. But I'd prefer to drink it without any additives or colors, because then you're getting it. If it's lighter, so what? But some people feel that color makes the difference, and it really doesn't. It's a good whiskey overall, though.
Yeah.
It's consistent. Third bottle, like I've said, and every one before that has been consistent. This one has. I'm not picking up anything else.
No? Give her a sip.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, I get the green apple. I almost get like a little of the darker, like the cherry.
A
The
dark
dried,
fruit sensation.
dried, like the darker.
Yeah. I took a pretty big drink of that one.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, it wasn't just a little sip, so I was able to really rinse it around the palate and picked up a little bit of alcohol, not much.
I get
dark fruit.
tobacco. I get a little tobacco at the end.
I could see
Interesting.
maybe I'm not really getting a lot of tobacco from my palate. Green apple, clove spice, a little bit of alcohol. It's smooth. It lingers on mid palate. 80 proof. It does stick with you for a little
pretty
while.
dry.
It is. There is quite a drying sensation, like
I'm getting
like
that.
a wine. Certain wine finishes, you know how you'll take a sip of wine and then you'll get that high
Yes.
grape, and then all of a sudden your mouth is like there's no moisture in it whatsoever.
Right.
I'm getting that from this.
But I think that's where I'm getting that little hint. It's like a hint of tobacco. It's not that like gross, like ashtray type.
Right.
It's like a good tobacco, like the smell of like a pipe or something.
Good pipe
Yeah.
tobacco. And
Not like
bet-
gross, like cigarette tobacco or whatever.
I bet we're getting that drying sensation from the French oak staves. If the French oak that they were using had previously aged wines, so you're going to have a little bit of that wine characteristic and that grape, be it red or whatever.
Yeah,
type
red
of
grape. That's a
red
good. Yeah, totally.
So that leaves that
Man, it's
that
so
wine
dry.
drying, which in the years we've drank this, I didn't really pick up on a drying sensation, but that's definitely there. I'm gonna try a little
It's
water.
good though. It's a good Scotch. I like
It
that.
really is.
And
I
I
love
like
that.
the peaty Scotch, and this has 0 peat, but it's
Yeah, 0.
that's probably my favorite Highland.
Yeah, it is a Highland Scotch, and each Scotch
I think
based
from
on
all
its
the ones
area,
we've tried.
they're going to impart different things. Like Aberlour is a different area of Highlands, and it has different characteristics depending on what they use in the barrels and what barrel it's finished in. Yeah, that drying sensation is definitely a wine characteristic.
But it's not finished in any kind of sherry casks or anything. Just the French oak.
Just a French oak stave. So that particular type of oak imparts
Yeah.
certain things to the whiskey, like Maker's Mark 46. He jumped out of the norm and he finished that bourbon for 8 to 10 months in French oak staves. So they have their barrel. When it comes to aging, which is about 7 to 8 years, then they finish their bourbon, Maker's Mark 46, mind you. They finish it with French oak staves inserted into the barrel. And so they run it for another 10 months. And that imparts a lot of the similar characteristics I'm getting in this compared to Maker's 46.
Oh.
It's
Maybe
that
that's what I'm-
unique oak, but it's a different kind of oak taste.
Huh, interesting.
And so that would be neat. We should do a comparison sometime between the Glenlivet and a Maker's 46 and see if you can pick up that French oak, that oak influence from a different region. Because
Yeah,
I
that'd be
definitely see
cool.
that.
Yeah.
I definitely see
There's
that.
definitely a different flavor to that.
Retail for this is in our region, the Glenlivets, the Scotches are continually jumping up in price. The Glenlivet 15 is typically going for now. I haven't looked it up
I think it's around
recently. I think it is
60.
60, give or take $60 for a fifth. It's been consistent. It starts jumping up in price when you get to the 18s and the 21s. I've seen the 21-year Glenlivet go from it's about a $50 price increase from what it was several years ago. The 25 has taken a $50 increase from where it used to be when we first started exploring whiskey. It seems to be stable right now though, so we'll see. It goes up and down, but I haven't seen it go down any, so we'll see. But I would recommend it. It's available in most markets. They do mass produce it.
Yeah, it's a good Scotch too. Even if you're kind of starting out in Scotch, because it took me a while, because I love bourbon. It took me a while to get into Scotches, but once I did, it opens up a whole new arena of whiskey, and it's so good. This one's a good one.
It is.
I mean, there's, and you can spend a ton of money on Scotch.
Scotch is expensive.
Because it's this, it's like bourbon, but it's not as strict, so they can change whatever they want.
They can add caramel color. Yeah. They don't have the same laws governing it that bourbon does. So bourbon is altered only by the barrel. They can add no colors or flavors other than distilled water when they cut it to the desired proof that the bottler wants to bottle it at. That's it. Scotch can add colors, and that's it for them. So,
but anyways, this is a good. Like I said, I like the peaty Scotches. This is I'd say my favorite Highland. Like my favorite Scotch that is not a peated Scotch.
Yeah,
that's what I've tried so far in my life. Yeah. Which hasn't been very long as far as Scotch is concerned. A couple years.
The book in a previous video from a long time ago, Tasting Whiskey by Lou Bryson, will really kind of direct you in that direction for different types of whiskeys and how to pick up the nuances and stuff. So that's a good reference if you're interested in expanding your whiskey knowledge. The book is crazy good. It is highly recommended.
Yep.
So if you like what you see, like and subscribe, everybody. We appreciate it. We're climbing up in subscriber count ever so slowly. I think we're at about 166, 167.
We only know like 8 people between us, so that's pretty cool.
I know, so we're heading towards that 200. Anyway, it's just 2 whiskey guys that like to share whiskey with everybody else. So we hope you're enjoying your whiskey and bourbons and having a safe weekend. We're on our weekend now, so as always, enjoy your whiskey or bourbons
any way you like.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.